Well, how about another quick story here? And I call this Talk About a Bad Bedside Manner. The first sign that I had a problem was when I was 1 year old and I could not stand unassisted or walk at all. I was born on 7:32 p.m. on the 17th of October 1950 with osteogenesis imperfecta, congenital brittle bone disease. Although no one knew it, and I would not be diagnosed for 36 years. My ankles were too weak to hold my weight, my legs were bowed, and my feet were constantly swollen due to fallen arches. To get around, I sat on my rear and pushed myself backward. I never learned to crawl. At 2, I was put in braces and finally learned to stand and walk shortly before I turned 3. I was entering school at 5. I was put into clunky corrective shoes. They were a continual embarrassment throughout elementary school. In the summer before 8th grade, I slipped and broke my lower back and ended up in traction for 2 weeks, a full body cast for the whole summer and no air conditioning, and a back brace for the next 2 years. While I was in the hospital, the doctor told my mom it was a good thing that I liked to read because I would never run again, never lift more than 20 pounds, and would be wheelchair bound by the time I was 20. Talk about a poor bedside manner. Well, he completely missed his predictions. I ran track, lifted weights in my 30s, and at 73, I'm still not in a wheelchair. I've had hundreds of bone breaks, shattered my spine in 87, and osteogenesis imperfecta took the rest of my hearing in my 20s. Despite all this, I have few complaints. It made me the kind of person who never lets my limitations dictate my quality of life. When I had throat cancer in 2015, my radiation oncologist told me I was the toughest SOB he had ever seen in his life. Analysis of my DNA suggests that I'm prone to take a much higher level of risk than the average person. I have a rep to keep up. Stay tuned. I'm not finished yet.